When Emma was 7 years old, she won a spelling competition. It wasn't a huge national championship. It was just a school event. But when she got home, she discovered her mother had already bought a frame for the certificate. A frame for a piece of paper. Emma still remembered staring at it and thinking, wow, I haven't even taken my shoes off yet. Everyone laughed. Her mother laughed. Her father laughed. And from that day forward, Emma unknowingly received a new job. Not daughter, not child, not Emma, the family's golden child. At first, it felt amazing. Teachers praised her. Relatives praised her. Neighbors somehow knew her grades before she did. Every family gathering became the same conversation. Emma got the highest score. Emma won another competition. Emma is going places. Meanwhile, Emma was sitting there trying to figure out why adults found percentages so exciting. The attention felt good. Who wouldn't enjoy it? She was loved, celebrated, admired. But something strange happened. Very slowly. So slowly she barely noticed. People stopped asking what she liked. Instead, they asked what she achieved. They stopped asking if she was happy. Instead, they asked how school was going. They stopped seeing Emma. They started seeing the trophy. By 13, she had become extremely skilled at reading rooms. Not books, rooms, the atmosphere, the temperature, the mood. A single facial expression from her parents could ruin an entire evening. If she got an A, everyone was cheerful. If she got a B, nobody said anything, which somehow felt worse. One day she came home with a test score that wasn't terrible. It wasn't even bad. It was simply average. Emma spent 20 minutes standing outside her front door, rehearsing how she would explain it. Imagine that. A teenager giving herself a courtroom defense speech because of one school test. She walked inside. Her mother looked at the paper, paused, smiled politely, and said, "Oh, just one word. Oh." Emma later said that single "oh" weighed more than some entire conversations. As years passed, she became an expert performer. Not on stage, in life. She knew exactly how to make everyone proud, exactly how to avoid disappointment, exactly how to appear successful. The problem? She no longer knew who she was when nobody was watching. At university, things got even stranger. She was achieving more than ever. Scholarships, awards, recognition. People looked at her and thought, wow, she's living the dream. Meanwhile, Emma's internal dialogue sounded more like, if I stop working for 10 minutes, will the universe explode? One Saturday morning, something unexpected happened. Nothing. And that was the important part. Nothing happened. No exams, no deadlines, no meetings, no expectations, no audience. She sat alone in her apartment with a cup of tea. For the first time in years, just sitting, doing absolutely nothing. At first, it felt uncomfortable. Then weird. Then suspicious. Then strangely wonderful. She kept looking around as if someone would appear and accuse her of wasting time. Nobody came. The world continued spinning. Civilization survived. The economy did not collapse because Emma relaxed for 20 minutes. And suddenly she had a thought. A dangerous thought. A revolutionary thought. A thought that would have horrified 13-year-old Emma. What if I don't have to earn my right to exist? That question followed her everywhere. At work, in traffic, while washing dishes, while standing in supermarket lines, especially in supermarket lines. Because apparently all major life revelations happen while waiting behind someone who has 57 coupons. The more she thought about it, the more she realized something. She had spent years trying to become impressive, but almost no time trying to become herself. Those were not the same thing, not even close. The breakthrough arrived a few months later. She submitted a work project, not her best project, not her masterpiece, not the kind she would normally spend extra hours perfecting. Just a solid project, good enough, professional, complete, done. Then she waited for disaster. Surely somebody would complain. Surely somebody would criticize her. Surely somebody would notice. Nobody did. The project was accepted. People thanked her. The meeting ended. Everyone moved on with their lives. Emma sat there completely confused. That was it? That was the catastrophe? Nothing exploded. Nobody rejected her. Nobody stopped loving her. Nobody even seemed particularly concerned. For years she had carried an invisible rule. I must always be exceptional. Now she was discovering something shocking. Most people were perfectly happy with reasonable. Over time, Emma started experimenting. Small things, tiny rebellions. She stopped volunteering for every responsibility. She stopped apologizing for being tired. She stopped turning every hobby into a competition. She even tried baking for fun. For fun, not for perfection. The first cake looked slightly dangerous. The second looked confused. The third looked like it had survived a natural disaster. But she laughed harder, making those cakes, than she had laughed in years. For the first time, she wasn't performing. She was living. Something else happened, too. She discovered interests she never knew she had, books she genuinely liked, music she actually enjoyed, dreams that belonged to her instead of everyone else's expectations. It felt strange, like meeting a person she should have known her entire life, because she had. It was herself. One evening, her mother asked a simple question. "What are you working on these days?" Years earlier, Emma would have listed achievements, goals, plans, milestones, targets. This time she smiled and said, "I'm figuring out what I enjoy." Her mother looked confused, as if Emma had announced she was studying penguin philosophy. But Emma didn't feel guilty. She didn't feel nervous. She didn't feel the need to explain herself. For the first time, being ordinary felt safe. And that was the real freedom. Not becoming less capable, not becoming less successful, not giving up, not failing. Simply understanding that her value had never depended on performance. People had called her the golden child. For years, she believed the gold belonged to her. But eventually, she realized something. The gold was never the important part. The important part was the person underneath it. The person who existed before the awards, before the expectations, before the applause. The person who could sit quietly with a cup of tea on a Sunday morning and feel completely at peace. And once she found that person again, she never wanted to trade them for a trophy. Ever again.